Hello, Advanced Financial Planning students. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Looking forward to this week. We're approaching February 2017, hard to believe, but again, this time of year deals with taxes, so I've been working my taxes a little bit this weekend, getting ready to file them. It's something in this textbook, it's an important tax or topic, I should say, relative to personal financial planning. It's one of the main categories I would suggest, relative to investing, retirement, taxes, education. But it's a big category because we want to make sure that we know our tax liabilities, and then there are no unpredictable cash flows, and we want to make sure we're following the tax law too. So we can do everything to avoid paying taxes as long as we're doing it legally. Tax avoidance is when you're going to go to jail, so are going to get fined heavily by the IRS. So again, it's just an important part of financial planning. As a financial planner that was helping someone, you'd want to have those previous tax documents to help them and kind of identify areas that they may be able to reduce their tax liability, or at least to maybe even with regards to withholding. So I'm a big believer that you don't want to have a whole bunch of cash coming back. A lot of theory that I read out there is that you really just want to break even. That's what I try to do each year. So you read about that. You also read about estate planning. That's another one of the big pieces, if you will, the puzzle about financial planning, or at least again from a financial planner's perspective. A lot of people don't think too much about estate planning. I think Prince had no wills. It's just kind of amazing to think about, but it still happens every day. So in a will, as long as you have something written down and it's notarized by someone, it's legal documents. So it really helps in case of an untimely death, or as your wishes to be granted when you pass on. So I know in the textbook, kind of theory we looked at, it says technically die broke, but most of us are altruistic and we want to leave something to our children or others or anything that's important to us, and there's ways we can plan through that. And the textbook talks about the certain financial documents that you could have related to estate planning. It also talks about wills and trust and other documents, and there's a lot of different trusts out there. And with trust, there's definitely a cost with it, but it can also avoid probate. It can kind of also allow you to do things in a way that maybe makes things easier for your family too. So, reading a few years ago, I thought was interesting too. Typically you have an executor of your will, but maybe there's even like small personal items or things that you want to go to certain members of the family. If you don't have that written down, nobody knows. So it's kind of one of those things as we get older in life, as hopefully 20, 30 years from now, when I get closer to that age point, I'm probably going to start divesting some of those assets away to other people, because I'm not going to need that much stuff. I have enough stuff already. But I think it's an interesting chapter. It's an important chapter, but people forget about it a lot. So make sure to think about your own situation, and even when you're thinking about the financial plan. The last two chapters, one deals with the different types of investments, stocks, bonds. You probably have addressed this before in financial classes or finance classes. It's a little bit of mutual funds, but what is available out there? It's kind of the products, if you will. And our last chapter deals with what we call the macroeconomic variables. It's important to have a pulse what's going on in the economy. With the change in a president, there's a lot of unknown factors going on right now. Right now, things look relatively good. The markets are happy. Unemployment is at a low from a high of 10% after the subprime crisis. And inflation is relatively staying in check. So the market seems to at least appreciate and think that things are going to stay stable for the next year. There's variables that come into play that we just don't know about yet. And the Federal Reserve is likely to raise some interest rates over the next year too, as inflation is growing. And they're going to try to put the economy in check. So we'll see what happens there. But those are your readings for the week. Just continue to plug away on your PowerPoint project. Don't forget about that, because it's coming up quickly. Work on your problems, and then make sure to jump in that forum discussion too. You guys do a great job with forum discussion. But everybody have a great week, and I will talk to you online. Take care.